I'm going to start this video out by reading something. Already there are a few people asking, where are the blacks protesting in the streets for a white woman who was just murdered by a cop? What you may not know is black people have a very long history of fighting for other ethnic groups when they are downtrodden. In fact, before slavery, black indentured servants and white indentured servants marched side by side in the streets to rally against corporate America. Once poor whites had an opportunity to move forward as a result of slavery, in parentheses, so they thought, they left their black brothers and sisters holding the bag. Little did they realize how slavery would devastate them economically. Blacks also marched with European Jews when large amounts of them arrived to the States just after the war. This was just before the creation of Israel. Back then, the Jewish and black communities were very close. Once again, a door of opportunity was open for Jews to walk through, provided they leave their black brothers and sisters behind. Things worked out a little better for them than the poor whites who once left blacks behind. Now you have the state of Israel mistreating black Jews and subjected them to all sorts of state brutality. Even the Black Panthers and Martin Luther King fought for poor whites. Yet today, most whites either ignore these facts or pretend they never happened. I could go on, but you get the idea. It is because of this history, you now have more blacks than ever who strongly believe blacks should only defend themselves. Not all blacks, but many blacks believe this. You also have the fact that blacks believe justice will be served in Diamond's case. Most of us would be very surprised if this black cop is able to get away with shooting Justine Damond simply because he says he feared for his life. But here's a more important question. If you feel an injustice has occurred, why aren't you in the streets leading the charge instead of looking for someone else to do it for you? Are you afraid blacks may join you? Then soon you may have to support them in the future? That's something that I posted online, and I just wanted to get that out because I am seeing a few people who are saying that. Not a lot of people, but as you can see in this article here, Philando Castile's mother is supporting the family of Justine Damond. I think this is great. I mean, this is brave for her. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. If my kid, man, I love my kids, and if that had happened to my kid, I'll be honest with you, I'd probably be in prison right now because, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But for her to keep her composure and still keep love in her heart, that's big. And she's reached out to the family. And I'm going to drop this article down in the bottom for you guys to read. I just wanted to make a really short video to address the few people who are online asking where are black people marching in the streets. It's not as many as I thought, but I think a couple of them kind of figured out that maybe they ought to wait to see if this woman doesn't receive justice. Well, I doubt very seriously if that's going to happen. Now, I said it before, this has all the markings of the other cases. I mean, you basically have the word of the cop to take. That alone makes it their fault to me. They had 3 cameras they could have had on. They decided to cut off all 3. That's kind of suspicious to me. It kind of makes me think that they were going on the scene pretty much knowing that they may get into something that they may not want recorded. Now, there are also people who are saying, which I'll be honest with you, is kind of a valid point, but, they're statists, and that's their motivation because they're only saying that like this particular fact alone, well, it's not a fact because we don't have a recording, but this particular point alone would justify the shooting. They're saying that considering the fact that she did call in a potential rape in progress, that maybe she shouldn't have ran out to the police car. Look, I can see that, but you know what? I still would think the officer would deserve to get fired had he had his cameras on. If he was really able to show that she startled him that badly, sorry for that noise, that she startled him that badly, he would have a lot more credibility had they not cut 3 cameras off. So And I blame the system. The system should not allow them to do that. If they're going to a scene, especially a scene where they know some violence could possibly go down, they should be required to cut them on. Any camera they have, they should go on. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it short right there. I'm going to throw this link down in the bottom. I'm also going to throw a couple of other links down in the bottom in case you were interested in some of the other things that I said, particularly subjects that I mentioned when I was reading the post that I posted on social media regarding Black people's history of fighting with other downtrodden ethnic groups, including white people and Jews, European Jews specifically, when they first arrived here in the United States. But if you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and throw that down there too. But okay, well, look, it's the weekend. You guys be safe, but enjoy it as much as you can. I'll talk to you later.